Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Pickin' and Puttin'. We're going to do a preview of the President's Club Cup 2022 at the Quail Hollow Club. That's what will be the 15th hole behind me, which normally plays at the 18th hole of the Green Mile. So I'll go into detail about the club. You see that young man below me, that's Rory, but that was the year he won. I'm going to go into that in detail. First, I want to do a quick shout out to two men in particular. Davis Love III, who's the captain of the U.S. team, and of course, Trevor Immelman, who's the captain of the international squad. First, though, let's go into a few things. I wanted to discuss a song which is totally pertinent because this takes place in September. It's a beautiful time of year here in the Carolinas. And it's a song written in 1978, reached #1 on Billboard, #3 in Europe, sold a gazillion records, millions plus, and called by Earth, Wind, and Fire, called September. And I know you've all heard it, and it was written by Maurice White, Al McKay, and Eiley Willis. It took them a month to write, and the best part about the lyrics, as we can have it in the background here a little bit. The best part about the lyrics was body ya. And he kept saying that throughout. Maurice White was a singer, and he kept going. Willis asked White, he says, WTF does body ya mean? And he said back, who TF cares? Became a hit. It's all that mattered. White's wife claimed it was the September 21st, 1978 was the due date of her son, Cabran, Khbran. So there you got it. In 2021, Rolling Stone labeled it number 65 of the 500 greatest songs in rock and roll. So there you go. I love the President's Cup, but I love September and I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. It just gets you dancing, man. It's kind of like the Christmas songs where you put down the window and start screaming. Anyways, let's go into a little bit of the team for the event, and I just want to go over the teams. First of all, we'll go through the players, and then I'm going to tell you about the course and how it's played. I'm a frequent visitor there, living in Charlotte, and play there quite a bit, so I can give you some insight into how these folks play the course and how it will play. The members of the U.S. team are Cantlay, Sam Burns, J.T. Thomas, Scheffler, Schauffele, Tony Finau, Cam Young, Billy Horschel, Morikawa, Kevin Kisner, Jordan Spieth, and Max Homa. And the international is made up of K.H. Lee, Siwoo Kim, Taylor Pendrith from Canada, Cam Davis, Christian Beesenhout, Sebastian Munoz from Colombia, Hideki Matsuyama, Tom Kim, who just came on the scene late there at the GGO, Mito Pereira, Adam Scott, who's an annual appearance in all these events, Corey Connors, and Sung Ye Im. So those are your teams for this event. So let's just kind of go into how this course is going to play. There's a couple things I think you'll find are interesting. If you've ever watched the Wells Fargo on TV, you know that Jim Nance and Nick Faldo would always talk about the Green Mile and the 18th hole and 16, 17, 18, how tough they play. Well, apparently when they play team events, a lot of these events end before you ever get to 16 or 17 in match play. So a majority of events might end a little earlier. So they wanted to make sure that these holes were included in the match play portion of the event, which of course the whole thing is match play, so to speak, with 24 men. So how they've changed the routing, however you want to say it, is number one, as you've seen it on TV, and it'll go through the first 8 holes. Then what they do is they build a special ramp. You'll maybe get to see it on television. But they take the fellows from behind some trees from number 8 green over to what is normally number 12 tee. And that will become number 9. And then number 10 will be what is normally number 13 and so on. So when you come to the Green Mile, which is 16, a downhill tough par 4, 17, the par 3 over water, and 18, which is behind me there, was a very difficult hole. That will be the 15th hole. So they will be 14, 13, 14, 15, excuse me. And then the change in the routing is that they come off of what now is 18 green. I know this is confusing. And they go to the 10th tee, which is right there by the clubhouse, and that will be 16. They'll play down what is number 11, and then they will turn around and come down number 9, which will be number 18. So 10, 11, and 9 will be the last 3 holes on television. So the routing will change, and it'll be a different event in that regard. So when you hear the Green Mile, you may say, wait a second, what did they do? The numbers changed? Well, that's why. So don't be confused by that. But let's go through well, let me make one first comment, with live development and how that's changed and a few people missing. Obviously, great contributors in the past, both the team room and the team, especially last year in the Ryder Cup with Dustin Johnson and, of course, Phil. Well, of course, neither one of them is available now with all the political mumbo jumbo going on. So those are a couple fellows that aren't on the team. And similar goes for a few of the fellows from the European side, or the international side, excuse me, not European side, that's Ryder Cup. So going through the holes, so I'll quickly run through the whole 18 holes to give you an idea of how it plays. So the first hole is a tight dogleg right that kind of, the whole fairway slopes left to right. For the members, it plays as a par 5, but for the professionals, they play it as a par 4. I'm guessing it's about 500 yards. And they have to take it out kind of over the trees on the right. But if they do that, they can get it up on the hill and probably have, for these fellows, a wedge or 9-iron. But what makes this hole difficult is it's a very narrow green, not very receptive to the ball. And the traps that are on both sides of the green are very deep. And when you're in those traps, it's very hard to hold the ball on the green, going from left to right, right to left. So depending on the pin placements, and the greens will be 12 to 14 on the stem, it's going to be a tough opening hole. So keep that in mind when you watch these events on TV. The second hole is a hole where the tee for the professionals has been kind of put back in a corner, and it's a tight dogleg left. But the fairway tilts from left to right where they drive the ball. So you may, in fact, see quite a few of these fellows hit 3-wood off their tee because the fairways will be, they'll play like a tarmac. They'll be fast and roll out. And the rough down here is 3-inch Bermuda, and so the ball sits down and it's awful. You need a backhoe to get out of them sometimes, or even find your ball when you're an amateur like me. So when you hit it down there, then your approach is usually about 170 yards to an elevated green. You absolutely don't want to air right. That's no man's land. So you don't want to short side you, as they so to speak. But the left side, while you have plenty of green to work with, the green runs away from you from left to right. And with the Bermuda, you can hit the ball there and have it run off the other side down into what we'd like to call Fazio collection areas. The next hole, the third hole, is to me a great golf hole. It's a straightaway par 4 long hole. Requires a straight drive. It's lined by trees on the left and right. There's some sand traps, bunkers that they can clear, but a big oak down far on the left, about 340, 350. And then a 2-tier green where, depending on if they put the pin back left, back right, it's very hard, very small target to get to. And if you're on the lower tier putting, it'll be a really tough 2. The next hole is a par 3, number 4, play about 180 for these fellas. And once again, the green doesn't have a lot of depth to it. And depending on if they put the pin on the left or if the wind blows, if you can't hit the ball very extremely high, it's a hard target to hold. Although I suspect with these guys, the way they hit it and they can spin it, it'll be a birdie hole depending on where the pin is placed. The fifth hole is once again used to be par five, was redesigned a number of years ago, and it is a really good par four. It's dogleg right, uphill, well trapped on the right and left. These fellows, of course, can hit it down there where they'll have wedges or 9-irons, even from as long as it plays. But the green slopes right to left. It's well trapped on the front right. And if they put the pin on the back right over the trap, it's a bear to try to get close to or make a birdie. So I would say, unless the pin's front left, look for some bogeys on the tough fifth. The sixth hole is a par three that's downhill, big green, fairly receptive to birdies, but it depends on how far they want to play it. They can put the tee back to 245, in which case, as we all know, it becomes hybrids, and even for these fellows, 3-4 irons. So while it can be a birdie hole, depending on where they pin, it may, or where they put the pin, it may be very difficult. The seventh hole is probably two of my favorites, but the seventh hole is a par five. And from where they put the professional tee here, it pretty much is a little slight dogleg left, but it's pretty straight away. There are a couple of fairway bunkers down the left, a creek that runs all the way down the right side, so it kind of frames the hole. And it's definitely a reachable par five that you'll enjoy watching on television. If you remember a number of years ago, Rory staged his comeback making an eagle here. And the way it works is the green has a ridge in the middle, and the right side is much lower. So when they stick the pin over there, the guys can take the water out of play, kind of hit it over the left corner of a trap that you'll see in front of the green, and the ball will go left to right down to the pin. So you're going to see some, when they put the pin on the right side of number 7, you will see some eagles, and that's a fun hole to watch on television or in person. The 8th hole is one of those great holes that kind of Tom Weiskopf and these designers made famous. It's a short par 4. I don't know whether they'll play it drivable or not for these fellows. If they do it, it's totally where they put the pin. It's probably, no matter where they put the tee, it probably plays 330, 340 max. But the pin can be difficult to access if it's on the right side. If it's on the left side, watch out. These guys can put it on the left side of the green. And so that's a birdie hole for sure. The 9th hole is a very good par 4 dog leg. Excuse me. That will be number 18. I just took the routing and I didn't even listen to my self-talk. So then they walk over to what is 11, which will play as number 9. So I'll take it correctly from here. So number 9 is a beautiful par 4 downhill, framed by oak trees and maple trees down the sides. And it's really a good driving hole. Although as fast as the fairways play downhill, a lot of them can hit a 3-wood. There's a big tree on the left. If you see them there, they're probably 150 yards in. It's a 2-tiered, huge green, a lot of pin options. They put the pin back right. Watch out. That's hard to get to for birdies. If they put it front right, they'll eat it up. So everything on the green rolls left to right. So if the pin's on the right, the fellow should be aiming left of that target, even on the top tier. It's a 2-tiered green. The next hole, which will be number 11, is a par 3, about 190. And it's pretty well, what you see is what you get. There's a trap in the front and on the right. The green kind of runs uphill, slants a little left to right. There is a collection area between, on just short of the trap on the right. But this for these fellows may in fact be a birdie hole depending on the pin placement. The next hole is the one that you've seen on TV. It's a beautiful, beautiful par 4 that comes down along the lake. It's short, about 3, from where they play it might be 360. And they can move the tees around if they want to make it drivable again. And these fellas otherwise would be laying up. So if you see him going for this green, which will be 12 on television, they will, if they stick the pin front left and cut the hill going down the lake, watch out. When you watch them play this hole, if you take a line right down the middle of the hole from front to back, You never aim left of that line. I don't care where they put the pin. You have to aim between the trap and the mid portion of the green, or you'll roll off and end up down the hill and in the lake, especially if they cut the hill. And if they don't cut the hill and it's 3-inch Bermuda, good luck with that, because you got to play a sand shot and you'd be lucky to get up and down par. The next hole, which normally is the 15th hole, is a long par 5 that comes down around the lake. And this is another eagle hole. These guys can take it down. There's a big oak tree on the left, traps on the right, but they can take it down almost to the corner. You'll see a bridge, and they'll be going up on this green in 2 most of the time. And if the pin is back left, they can clear the trap and really get a good eagle putt. And if it's front right, don't listen to the TV announcers, because if it's front right, you can aim short and right of the bunker and you get a ground hook, which all you amateurs know about. And the ball can get really close. So you'll see some eagles on that hole. Then we enter 13, 14, and 15, which is normally the green mile, which you would call 16, 17, 18. So 13 is a downhill, tough par 4s. Trap on the right, a big tree there. The fairway runs right to left. At the very end is a tall tree where Rory's eagle used to hang out. I don't know if he's still living there anymore, but that's where, and that's kind of their target. But if they hit it too far and it runs out, they can run down the hill and into the water. So even from their tee, they just want to hit it to the corner, a little bit past the trap. Tough green, big, trapped on the right, surrounded by the lake behind and to the left. And it's a tough green. If the pin's back left, it'll be tough to get close to the pin. If they put the pin front right, you may see some birdies there, but normally it's a good par hole there. The next hole, which will be 15, which normally plays as number 17, is the par 3 that all of you have seen over water. And when they put the tee back there and play this, if the wind blows and they stick the pin on the left side, good luck, fellas. I think you'll take a 3, depending on where you are in your match, and get the heck out of Dodge there, especially if there's a 10 to 12 knot wind. You come to 16, which is the classic 18th hole, and it's got a creek that meanders down about the left third of the fairway, tightly fairway bunkers on the right, trees. It requires a really good drive. And then the pin, if the pin is front left, like you see where Rory is there, he hit a 3-wood to there, which was like, golly, man, I don't know, 350, something crazy. And he's hitting a 60 degree. This hole plays 500 yards. It's just amazing. But anyways, if the pin is front left, which it was when he played it there, it's a birdie hole. If the pin is back left or on the right side, it's still approachable, but not as much. Then you turn around and go to the what is normally the 10th hole, which will be 16th. And once again, this is a par 5 straight away, traps on the left that even from the back tee, these guys can fly. And that carry to the left trap, when you'll see it on television, I think it's about 302 to carry it. And then it's got a ramp to kick your ball out even farther. So the pros can then go for the green. When you're watching on television, be aware there's a fairway bunker just short of the green on the left. And the way when you play it, you feel like, well, I got to aim over here and what to the right a little bit. Well, it's designed so that you take on that bunker and carry it, and that'll kick your ball onto the green for give you an eagle putt. But if you hit it right at the green, your ball may kick and go down into one of those collection areas, the so-called fazios. But eagle birdie hole for sure, 100%. Next hole, which will be their 17th hole, which is normally the 11th, is a beautiful hole. It's a dog leg left, well trapped on the left side, framed by trees on the right, but a very generous landing area for these fellows when they hit their drivers the way they do. Probably coming in here with anything from a wedge to an 8-iron, 9-iron. Big green, difficult to putt, and if they put they can actually add 20 yards by sticking the pin back left. So just watch this one for a few 3 putts, especially if it comes down nitty gritty and it's their 17th hole in a tight match on Sunday. And then the last hole, the 18th hole, is normally the 9th hole. And it's a great golf hole. It's a par 4, dog leg left. It's got some framing fairway bunkers down on the right, but they run down the hill. These guys will take on the corner. It's funny. from the tee, it looks like you need to cut the corner, but if you aim out to the right, the fairway cantilevers, whatever you call it, goes right to left. And you can hit the ball much farther right than you think and have it kick way down there another 40, 50 yards and into the middle of the fairway. This is a relatively flat green. Back right pin is the toughest because where they'll stick the pin after the point of the pin, the green runs away from you and you're suddenly hit a perfect shot and yet you're in the rough. So you want to be short of the pin. Anywhere short of the pins on that hole is a good shot, and it can be a birdie hole, but a good par there. So that's kind of the run of the course. I think it'll be the course is in meticulous shape. The greenskeeper, the director of golf, Scott Davenport, they just do a beautiful job. I think you'll find that the club is in great shape. You'll enjoy watching it on TV. The amazing portion of this is that the build out is, good golly. We had the PGA down here when JT won his first PGA. You remember his father and his grandfather was still alive and both PGA pros. So it was pretty cool. He's won it again now. But anyways, when they had the PGA here, I don't know what the square footage of build out for the tournament was, but what they've built out for the President's Cup makes it look like they built another city. It will, I don't know if it'll show up on TV, but it's been amazing to watch being built. It's taken 6 months. It's a construction that you just can't believe. And it will be, I think TV hopefully will do it justice, and I'm sure it will. Well, normally I have a quote for you today. And the best quote I can have is I listen to an app called Imagine Golf, and if you don't listen to it, get it. You got to pay for it, but you get a little quote every day, about 3 minutes, that tells you how to kind of beat your golf mental game in life stories. And today they had talking about the young man who's had 3 heart transplants, who's played the tour, and we all know him. And his deal was he would get up, and his quote was, "Enjoy the day." You know, it's a miracle. So enjoy your day. Think of him. 3 transplants, and he's still out there giving it all for him. Enjoy the President's Cup. Enjoyed giving you the play-by-play. I hope you listen to this and enjoy it. I had fun giving you the lay of the course. We'll see you next time. Still missing Liberty Bill. He's still on sabbatical, but Doc Z here giving you the most on the President's Cup 2022. Good luck to Captain Trevor Immelman, and also good luck to Captain Davis Love. All I want is good golf. See ya next time. Love you all. Mean it. Doc Z.